The mainstream media has failed to do a lot during Donald Trump's presidency, but the issue that stands out to me the most, what they have lacked coverage on so frequently, is Donald Trump's cognitive decline. It is clear that a man who, of course, has never had the brain power to be president lacks it more than ever before. Yet the mainstream media won't say anything, even though Donald Trump says all of the things that would make you realize that he is losing it completely. But it's gotten so bad that although the mainstream media won't cover it, right-wing media is waking up. And we saw that when a right-wing host realized just how scary Donald Trump's decline is, and it gave a very disturbing warning about what's to come. We're going to get into it all, but before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button because it goes a long way in supporting our work. Now, before we can get into this right-wing MAGA host, I want to start with someone who has actually been calling out Trump's decline, and that's Lawrence O'Donnell right here.
Future historians do not miss.
A lot of wars there was no reason for. You know? You look right up there, I don't know, see the Declaration of Independence, and I say, I wonder if the Civil War, it always seemed to me maybe that could have been solved without losing 600,000 plus people.
History will find that there was a president of the United States who did not know that the Declaration of Independence was written and signed 85 years before the Civil War. You look right up there, I don't know, see the Declaration of Independence, and I say, I wonder if the Civil War always seemed to me, maybe that could have been solved without losing 600,000 plus people. That's what he said. So he looks at the Declaration of Independence on the wall, and then he thinks that the Declaration of Independence was the product of the Civil War. We've always known that Donald Trump could not possibly pass a high school AP history course. We've always known that Donald Trump couldn't pass any test in any high school history course. But now we know that he couldn't possibly have passed any history test in my third grade at St. Brendan's Elementary School in Boston, in Dorchester. We knew that order of history, what came first, in the third grade. Declaration of Independence first, Revolutionary War second, Civil War a distant third to those events. There are children in elementary school in America tonight who are laughing at that video that they just saw right now, especially kids on the West Coast where this show is airing early enough for them to see it. The psychiatrists promised us in the first year of the first Trump presidency that there was only one direction that his mental health could go. And every day, Donald Trump proves them right.
Lawrence O'Donnell has been the only person in mainstream media to consistently point out how out of control Donald Trump has become, how much more extreme he is. This is not hyperbolic. This is not us losing our minds, liberals losing it. This is just a real assessment of how crazy Donald Trump is. And although we are about to see an example of how someone in MAGA media has realized that, I don't think that anyone else has, because they just don't get how broken Trump already was. And that was pretty clearly exposed with Jessica Tarlov talking about Gavin Newsom.
Yes, that's deep fakes. I get it. Some people might not like how Gavin Newsom is talking.
I love it.
You might not find his posts funny. It is absolutely working. His fundraising numbers for this just came out. 6.2 million from this week, 200,000 individual donors, and we have been having a problem in activating these donors.
Do you want him to be there?
Now, I thought it was important to play that clip because it just goes to show that MAGA at this point is so bought into the cult that they don't understand that what Trump does is absurd and embarrassing unless they see it outside their tribe. Of course, Governor Newsom is trolling Donald Trump, but they see it as embarrassing because they can't imagine a politician speaking like that unless it's their God King who they just praise no matter what. Which is why it was so surprising to actually see a member of MAGA media call out Donald Trump's health scandal, and it was Alex Jones of all people right here. Alex Jones warns Trump's cankles collapse is imminent. I know we have a crisis, said the InfoWars conspiracy theorist who urged the president to reduce his work hours and rest or else. Conspiracy theorist Alex Jones is sounding the alarm about what he dubbed Donald Trump's health crisis and the consequences the 79-year-old president faces if he doesn't take his foot off the gas pedal. The InfoWars host pleaded Wednesday, the day after Trump's comments about heaven intensified concerns about his condition, that if the people around him could just get him to take off one day a week, if he could just go play golf and watch movies, which he already does, he could have some fun and he deserves it? But Jones said at the current trajectory, warning, the president is going to have some sort of collapse within the next 12 months. I've seen a lot of signs of Trump declining, he said, and so he's on a lot of the time. But like a light bulb is starting to go out. It gets brighter, it gets dim, it goes in and out. Jones also pointed to the president's chronic venous insufficiency, which isn't linked to cognitive abilities but does cause blood circulation issues and, in Trump's case, swollen cankles. That's not a good sign for the heart and the rest of the body, because the rest of him, he's lost weight. He's not just that fat anymore, Jones said. For everybody that you've known that's having heart problems, that's not good right there, okay? And they're getting bigger and bigger, referring to his cankles. If even Alex Jones is pointing out the fact that Donald Trump is clearly declining, now he didn't necessarily acknowledge as much as he should have that Donald Trump is cognitively declining, but I don't really think Alex Jones is necessarily the person to get a good read of when someone is stable in their brain. I wouldn't necessarily say that he would be my go-to call, my number one doc, that I really want to get him on the phone and say, hey man, can you get me a baseline assessment of someone's sanity? Yeah, it's certainly not the turn in the friggin' frogs gay Alex Jones guy. If you haven't seen that clip, I promise I'm referencing something. No, the dude's insane. But he's not too insane to be able to see that Donald Trump is clearly unwell. Midas Touch posted the video of him being Stumbly Joe up and down the red carpet as he was excitingly cheering on Putin. It's like, this guy is out of control. How can you not see this? This is the time, though, because of that, to prove just how pathetic and weak Donald Trump is. And out of all the Democrats in the country, it just seems like only one person wants to do it. And that's Gavin Newsom right here.
That's referring to you, Columbia University. And yes, I hope you're listening, Harvard. 50 plus 52, $3 billion in endowment. What the hell is the point of an endowment if you cannot stand up for the cultivation of individual or independent thought? Because that's what this is all about. He is literally trying to shut down institutions across the spectrum, and that includes the media, ABC, that includes the media, CBS, that includes private companies, some of the wealthiest in the world, NVIDIA, 15%, selling out 10% to the dear leader, Intel. You can't, the crony, any institution that reflects any variant of cultivating any kind of independent thinking, and institutions of higher learning, front and center. The finest public university system on planet Earth, the UC system, that is sitting on 13,800, don't quote me, roughly 13,800 active patents, more than any other system in the world. The conveyor belt for talent, the reason California is the tentpole of the U.S. economy, the reason America is the tentpole of the world economy, pushing out the boundaries of science and discovery, more scientists, engineers, researchers, more Nobel laureates, the envy of the world. He's trying to break them down. He's trying to gut the research that keeps our national defense system operational, that keeps us dominant in quantum, keeps us dominant in artificial intelligence. He is telling us we have to have 3 co-equal payments, and we have to submit to an oversight agreement. $1 billion fine to UCLA, one of the finest institutions of higher learning on the planet. It will not happen as long as I'm governor. I'm on the UC Regents. We will stand tall. We will fight back. We are not these Ivy League schools, and we are not these law firms, and we sure as hell aren't these media companies that are selling out for short-termers. I care too much about you and your kids and your grandkids. I care less about situational values. I care about sustainable values in every way, shape, or form. We will stand up to those enduring values. UCLA will fight back, and we will win. It may take a while, but we will win.
Donald Trump is weak. Donald Trump is ailing. Donald Trump is out of control. He is a madman who is not just posting crazy tweets. Conservatives love to say that, don't they? Oh, the liberals get so mad about the mean tweets. Well, when the mean tweets are upending our economy because they're not tweets, they're idiotic tariff policy, yeah, I think we've got a little bit of a reason to be upset. And it was on that issue specifically, Donald Trump wrecking the economy, that Elizabeth Warren called him out.
You about something going on at the Fed. You mentioned the Fed. As opposed to retreating from the tariffs, which would probably pave the way for rate cuts, instead the president is trying to effectuate a kind of authoritarian takeover of the Fed, to browbeat, bully, and possibly get rid of Jerome Powell, and now is trying to chase out the only black woman to ever serve on the Fed Board of Governors, Lisa Cook. They have concocted what appears to be a farcically, facially preposterous mortgage fraud accusation that they've just ginned up, clearly because they just want to take her seat. And they are trying to do the thing that has been tried in many countries successfully, which is the kind of authoritarian leader takes over the central bank and prints money and lies about the stats.
Yep. But that's Donald Trump's move everywhere. He wants everyone in government, everyone in power, everyone in the country to bow down to Donald Trump. He wants control over the Fed. And then when prices go up, as they are, he wants to be able to blame the Fed. And he also wants to be able to control all those numbers so that he can say, no, everything is great. Yes. Here are the numbers. Remember the labor just last week when he fires the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics because he doesn't like the jobs numbers. That's Donald Trump's approach to all of it. Bend down to Donald Trump. Donald Trump will then tell everyone what reality is. Look, that's what authoritarians do. But in a democracy, we don't have to put up with that. We have our voices. We have our votes. California's standing up. I'm going to Minnesota because Minnesota's full of fighters. And I'm going to Nebraska because I think Nebraska's ready to get in this fight big time. And that's what we got to do all over this country. 2026 could be pretty exciting.
Senator
a chance to take back our democracy.
Donald Trump's brain wants our economy to be as broken as it is. And considering a lot of what we've heard from Trump recently, a lot of what we've seen, I would say that is it's a bad sign. So maybe we don't let that happen. Yeah, I'm going to say let's not. We're going to work to call it out every single day on this show. And if you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video, and if you stuck around at the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. You can also let me know how much you hate JD Vance. And until next time, I'll see you soon.